from Knit Happens Teesside for the 6th week of 2026. Only it is and it isn't. Well, it is. Anyway, I'll get on with it. Michael sent this picture in. So he's been really productive. I do know that Jill has unpicked, is it the sleeves this time, of the red lace garment because they were too long. I don't know if it's dropped. So she's redoing them. So that's another adjustment to it. I don't think she'll be using that pattern again, or maybe, I don't know, she's got that yarn. I think she's probably got more of that yarn, lace yarn. So what happened this week was we did not have a knitting night as such because, well, there was illness and also the weather was horrendous. So it was cold, dark, windy, really windy and raining. Obviously we'd be driving there, but you know when you just want to hibernate, so we didn't meet up. But what we did do was we had a little video meeting, and it was just Helen, Fee and me. But it was quite good, and it flew past. We didn't quite stay on for 2 hours, but it was really good chat, just the same as normal, but not quite as good as actually going out and being somewhere, because it's a good break from everything else that you do, isn't it? If you just go and be somewhere. So I've been working on my knit-along, which is the zaneteknits, and it's the Rujuu. Now I'm showing you a week behind. I have another section done almost, so I'll be waiting again until Thursday night. Well, I won't start until Friday evening, most likely, which is what I did this week. So I can show you up to, let's see if I can do this. That looks big, doesn't it? It's not, it's fine. Up to there. I can't remember whether that yellowy bit's on the next clue, I think it is. So you just got a sneak peek of the beginning of the next week's. So this is Rujuu part 1, 2 and 3, but 4 is nearly done, and I've fathomed out what yarn I'm using because I had to get new balls out. So this is Rowan alpaca. It is alpaca cotton. I think I've been telling you that. It does say to use a bigger needle, I think. But then, yeah, 5mm, but that would be Aran, which is the only thing that's sort of confusing me a little. But the fabrics, you know, the fabric of it is thick, but it is flexible. So this is all Aran weight, knitted on a 4mm, which is not the usual. This is Debbie Bliss Aran tweed, something like that, but it's definitely hers. And my latest colour is, these balls are quite good for using both ends of. It's not knotted up. And this is Rowan felted tweed. So my little accents are different colours as they go along. And that's the latest one. I don't think I've got anything more to tell you about that. There is so there's a Mystery Knitalong that I've probably already mentioned, which is on Friday. It's live on a Friday. It's Friday evening here, about 5 o'clock tea time. Perfect time at the end of the week to chill and watch your friends live. And that's Neil and Shauna, and they're covering the Knitalong. And there's pictures of everybody's work as it goes along from a chat that we have, which is also accessible from there. Then we've got Shauna doing a weekly update. She does a weekly video. She does the one with Neil, and then she also does a weekly update on the clues as she's going along. So I am enjoying knitting it very much, and sometimes I hold it up against me and think I like it, and sometimes I don't. I'm still not understanding why my main colour doesn't look to be predominant, particularly. Well, it isn't, it isn't. Anyway, that's it for that one. I am drinking, well, it's not quite a confusion of herbs because it's just peppermint. So it's not a herbal confusion, it's more like an unconfused herbal drink. And going through my own knitting has made me sneeze, or all fabrics. I've been through quite a bit of stuff this week, and I've tidied up my Welsh dresser a little bit, and it's like Jenga, isn't it, though? I don't think I haven't really got rid of much. But I have got rid of quite a lot of fabric. And within my fabric stash, I had things like garments that I was going to alter, or I like the fabric of. So I've tucked all them in a charity bag, and they've gone today. We get charity bags collected from the house, so that's good. This is not what I was planning to tell you about at all. I am wearing, now I think this is I had his name before I started recording. This is a Rowan knit. So this is a carry-on from the Rujuu sweater, because some people have said they quite like to have a zip in theirs. Now, I've done this twice, and I think that was my first attempt there. I should bring her a bit closer, shouldn't I? Dolly Daydream, make yourself useful. Yes, she's a bit creased, but you can see that it's got a bit of a wibble, a wobble. I was trying to describe it in the chat, which is difficult. So if you were to sew a zip on, Martin Story, that's probably a Martin Story design. It is from a Rowan book, and I think that this is a Rowan pattern as well, and probably is a Martin Story design. I quite like his designs, but I don't think I've made one recently. So this is ancient. Now, if you just put your garment and your zip underneath the sewing machine and manage to sew it without getting any of the fibres caught in the foot, because that's something you have to watch as well. I don't think I did that, but I didn't pin this one properly. So it's kind of, the fabric's got give in it, so the fabric will stretch, and the zip is rigid. Zips have no give, they have no stretch whatsoever. So as you're sewing, the fabric will pull and stretch along the zip, and then you'll end up with, I don't know if you can see it well enough, this wobbliness. I mean, it would be mainly, if it was on, it would do things like that. So I think that this might have been me trying to end my zip where I wanted my zip to end, and like easing it a bit. But really, you know, it goes down in the middle, and it should lie just straight and just flat. So that means that this is stretched onto the zip a little bit. Now, the one I'm wearing, to get this right, my cables are a bit unfortunate, aren't they? So this has got like a clear zip in, and you can see it's just sewn by machine. I had a good look at it. I've sewn, we've got this edge that rolls up, and I have sewn in there. Don't know if you can see that. So with this one, I will have pinned the zip in while I was wearing it, with probably quite a lot of pins, or tacked it in, but you can't really sew it while you're wearing it, to get it absolutely flat. So it doesn't looks a bit of a kink there, but I mean, honestly, it's been in the bottom of a cupboard for a long time. I don't actually wear this very much, but I do think that the zip went in fine. And because when you wear it, this is quite a close-fitting garment as well, isn't it? So when I wear it, if it's stretching round me, then this becomes shorter. And you have to get the zip right as it would be worn. So I will have pinned it. I've obviously measured it because the zip's the right length. Maybe I just measured it flat, but I do remember pinning it in to make sure it would be okay. Now, that's what I would do now, because it's years and years since I finished these, and I haven't put a zip in any knitted garments since, of my own, but I have put zips in stretchy garments of other people's, and zips are really nothing to be scared of. It's just about you being in control. So if you measure something when it's relaxed, that's the measurement. But I would still pin it in while you're wearing it to make sure. You do get like stretchy, you can see stretchy cheap clothes, don't you? The zips are all over the place. And that's the same sort of thing. I don't know if I wore that one, whether you'd be able to see. Shall I try it on? It's Shetland wool. It's got all these lovely colours in it. Let's see what it does, because I remember looking at it on some photographs and thinking, oh, that zip's not in right. I can't watch the telly, the news, or the weather, or programmes without getting distracted about the clothes and the fit of things that people are wearing, and like losing the storyline completely. I used to watch the weather and not know what they'd said. And I always used to wonder why a man reading the news or the weather can just wear a suit and that's it. Nothing else is expected of them, just neat hair and a suit. And the women, they're like, look, are they going to the nightclub afterwards? Are they going to a wedding afterwards? This is how they look to me. And why do they have to wear such high shoes? Surely that's painful. Why do women have to wear high heels on telly? You see what it's doing? I mean, I'm a bit of a different shape than I was when I made it. It's more here. That's not good, is it? That bit. Well, don't look at this bit. Just look at that bit. So I like the pockets on this. I quite like a high up pocket, which is another thing that I'm doing. So I'm making the Andrea Mowry cardigan, aren't I? The Douglas cardigan. I'll show you. Right then, this is Douglas. And I was knitting this while we were having our knitting night the other night. And when it said about the pockets, it said put a spare bit of thread through the next so many stitches. Then with a spare bit of thread, knit those stitches and then slip them back and then knit them into the next stripe. So that is exactly what I did. And it's an afterthought pocket across here. Now her pattern says to do it there, but hers is definitely there. Though I know she's probably a tall lady, but I don't want my pockets down there. I mean, I don't know where I'm going to have this sit, but I don't want my pockets there. I want them a bit higher. If you have a look at this pattern on Ravelry, everybody's pockets, everybody's followed the pattern, and their pockets are one stripe lower than Andrea's. And I like the proportions of hers. That's why I like it, because I like the proportions and the kind of high up pockets. And anyway, so I've gone off pieced again, and my colour's got a bit crazy, but it's just one stripe, and I do like it. It's one of those random skeins that you buy that you think, oh, I like that. And then you just think, what am I going to do with that? So it's jazzed it up a bit, but it'll calm down again now. So I'm quite happy with that. I think I like that colour. This isn't, both these cardigans are stash. That's the current colour. Good way of using your stash up, and I think the leftovers from, that is kind of leftovers from blankets and things like that. So I did choose colours that would blend with blankets. Right, been looking through fabrics, been looking through wool. You've probably seen the wool when I've been going through my wool stash, but I haven't shown you my mohair stash yet. I forgot about that. I don't think I'm doing it this week, but I do need to look, because when I do look, I shouldn't do that, should I? Sorry. When I do look, you see there's the Stephen West, I can't remember what it's called, but he's got a knit-along started, and it's 5 balls mohair. I've got loads of mohair, but what I especially have is a box that I've shown on here before. I'm looking round because it was in this room, but I can't see it now. I might have put it actually with my other mohair, which would be a miracle, wouldn't it? So I need to find that and consider whether I'm going to do it or not. So you can buy the pattern for it, or you can buy sort of an ebook which has got 3 patterns, which is the pattern for that, the pattern for socks, and the pattern for the really popular knit along thing that happens at the end of the year. I think that's for some reason that's the big one. So I've had this box of mohair for quite a while, not knowing quite what I was going to do with it, but it's beautiful. And, well, I should probably tell you about it when I find it, shouldn't I? So it would be putting that to use, and that would be another stash project, which would be great. Now, I've been looking for, you know, last week I spoke about wanting to make something else for Delilah. She's growing very fast, and she's started to take a few steps. So that's great. She's very cute. So I've been going through books, going through stash, and there's never quite enough wool. And then I thought, well, I'll do stripes of different colours. That'll be nice, which it would. And then it's like, which pattern? So I got a bit confusing. And then I knew I'd seen this pattern, which is lovely, and it will go up to her size, even though it's on a little baby, because she's now 1. Because a lot of the baby patterns are only for babies, but this goes up to 2. It's like a side opening. Ooh. And it's in this book again. Lullaby Knits. Wiebe, Ulrich and Sondergaard. And this is the actual wool that it's supposed to be made in, which is Debbie Bliss Baby Cashmere in a sort of a grey shade. It's not the colour I would have chosen to make that for her, but I think it would be, it's a nice neutral and it'll go with everything. And I've got it, so I want to use it instead of go buy stuff. I was near some wool yesterday and I didn't buy any. I just bought a load of work threads that are kind of my everyday. The colours, these get used a lot. So bridal wear. Oh, I don't use ivory. I use this one, which is natural, which is Quartz Moon 120 natural. If you were to use white thread on an ivory dress, you would be able to tell. It would look very cheap and nasty. So that's the one I use for wedding dresses. And then I've got navy, a darker navy, black and grey to keep me going. That's all I bought, and some sweets. And I didn't buy any wool, but I did look at the wool, and well, it's one of those shops that doesn't really sell wool. It's more like acrylic. So where are we now? Oh, yes. So Tim retired, didn't he? The first thing he did was make some bird boxes. And last week when I was talking to you, he was putting them up. So we've got one at this end of the house at the back and one at that end of the house at the back. And we'll have to see what happens. And then he said, oh, I've only seen one great tit. I wonder if he's lost it, because he was singing. One of them was singing every morning and night. And he said, I wonder if it's lost its mates, or hopefully not. But let's see if we get some little residents. Wouldn't that be lovely? So what he's been doing since then, now he bought years ago some Manx Logtan. I'll just see if I've said that right.
Logtan.
Logtan. Manx
Logtan.
Manx.
Logtan.
Logtan. Manx Logtan. So it can't be a big sheep. Well, I did just see a picture of one. Let's have a look. I'll show you a picture of one. A Manx Logtan. Now, his fleece is kind of darkish brown with maybe like a paler tip. It looks darker than that. But that's what it said on the bag. Anyway, it smells rather sheepy. Now, he's never spun before, and he soaked it. We did a bit of a wash, because I said you should wash it a little bit, because it'll gunge up the spinning wheel, for one thing. And he chose the Ashford Joy, which is probably best because it's got 2 pedals. And it's lower down. It's lower down for where he normally sits. So he got the carders out. So I have everything, but I haven't even used the carders very much at all. And he carded quite a bit of it. And then he had a go at spinning.
Take a staple or 2 of fleece in your right hand. Tease the fibres out. Right hand, tease the fibres out. When it says a staple, is that, how much is that though? It doesn't say, does it?
No,
staple.
I think they want you to get it in straight lines, because you might felt it. Try and get straight pieces. The staple is the length of the fleece. Getting the hang of it.
Not really. Watching a video though, got these facing the wrong way.
The what? Oh, I've seen him before. Spinning guy.
When he flips his hand over.
A roll lag.
Sausage.
I've got one sort of roll lag there.
Oh, look at that. You can see a few. I don't know if that comes to sorting, you know, getting the little lumps out.
Yeah.
Is it joined on all right? Remember, don't let your twist pass your hand. Pass your front hand. That one.
Don't.
Yeah, no, these people are paid, they are organized, it's not, some of it is grassroots. I mean, I'm sure that there is some native born NPR
So I kind of showed him, and he was away with it. Now he was overspun, and now I know a little bit more about the settings on the spinning wheel. I put it so that it wouldn't be too ferocious, but actually it should have been on a higher ratio so that it went in quicker while he was spinning. But I remember when I was trying to spin, it kept snapping, kept going. There wasn't enough twist. It was going in before I was ready. So he did quite well. And another batch has been washed and he's got to card it. It's been washed and dried and it still smells of the sheep, which is nice. But he's not said anything about wanting to knit it. He thinks I should knit it for him. So that's a job lining up. I mean, if I start now. But he'll have to ply it, and I don't know if the first lot would be... pretty sure the first lot of wool he makes won't be suitable for actually making a garment. I don't think. But it might be suitable for him to learn to knit with, might it? So I might suggest that and get myself out of it. I think that's about it for this week. We haven't been far. Though when we went to the church last week, just to see where we got married, we had a little walk around the graveyard and we found the grave that's dedicated to all the shipwrecked sailors. If you think 200 years ago, when they wouldn't have known who people were, before we had sonar, radar, and even probably lighthouses, I don't know. There were quite a lot of shipwrecks because we have rocks in the bay. And the local people would collect the bodies and take them to the church and they would be buried. And this is where they were buried.
Look at all them snowdrops.
So more news, maybe, next week.